Brilliance Audio.
A Life for a Life by Carol Wyer. Performed by Henrietta Mear. The pale-faced man with soaking wet, straw-coloured hair begged to be released. Prison guard Tom Champion twisted under his binds until a person wearing military fatigues appeared on the screen, the upper body out of camera shot, and poured water over his face. Champion spluttered and coughed, mouth opening and closing like a fish's, as he struggled for breath. He gulped lungfuls of air. "Tell us," said a disguised, robotic voice. "No, I can't, no." The figure moved again, more quickly this time. Water streamed over the man's eyes, then his nose, and finally his mouth. He retched and hacked. "We can keep this up for hours." "You can't," said the robotic voice. Okay, I admit it. I killed Cooper Monroe and made it look like suicide." "Tell us exactly what happened." "He was in the shower. He didn't hear me. I crept up behind him, surprised him, and slit his throat with a razor blade before he could react." "And then?" "I got cleaned up, put on a spare uniform I'd already left in the changing area, and called for assistance." "Why did you kill him?" He shook his head. "Please, don't make me tell you. I'll lose my job, everything." "You don't tell us, and you'll die. Which is it?" The man didn't answer, and was waterboarded yet again. He struggled for air, lung-sucking wheezes followed by short, panicked inhalations. More water dripped onto his face, filling his nostrils. His eyes flew open in wild panic, gargles bubbling from his throat, as if it had been sliced open. He panted dramatically, until there was sufficient air to talk. Each word puffed from his lips. "I was paid to make it look like suicide. I needed the money my dad's got. Advanced dementia, he needs medical care." "How much were you paid?" 30 grand. Epoxy 30 grand for a man's life. "He was a criminal." The man's legs and lower body bucked under the leather restraints as more water was poured into his mouth. He blew and gasped and blew again. The water stopped. "Who paid you?" "An officer." "A police officer or a prison officer?" "Police." "Who was this police officer?" "No, I can't tell you." He was tortured again. This time he pleaded for his life. "Give us the name of the officer who paid you." The man gave it up at last. "Superintendent John Dickson." Kate rewound the video she'd watched numerous times, flinching as she did so. Tom Champion had been on the verge of death, eyes rolling back in his head. She shouldn't have agreed to such a barbaric method of extracting information from him, yet it had given her what she'd needed. The name of the man she'd suspected all along. John Dickson. She wanted Dickson unmasked so badly it hurt. Not only was the superintendent corrupt, but she was also convinced he had been behind the murder of her husband, Chris. He might not have hired the hitman who had killed Chris, but he had undoubtedly convinced the person who did to do so. Unsure how dishonest Dickson was, she was gathering evidence, by whatever methods needed, to prove she was right. Her attention turned from her phone as she watched the man who had tortured Tom Champion stride from his Range Rover. He had the air of somebody who'd seen it all and feared nothing. Bradley Champion had spent 14 years in the SAS. Even though he'd been a civilian for over 25 years, the driving school instructor practiced Krav Maga, a mixture of martial arts, combat techniques, and self-defense, originally taught to the Israeli army. Kate was sure this was one of the reasons he walked with the confidence of a much younger man. The door opened. Bradley climbed into her car, filling it with a light cologne. He looked ahead rather than directly at her, eyes on vehicles crossing the causeway, his face set. "Well?" When he didn't reply, she said, "You rang me. Are you going to explain why, or shall we play 20 questions?"